Okay, now I've got a few things to go through today. As I've referenced before, I'm writing a book called The Nature of Honour. I won't tell you who's publishing it, and we'll just get the government trying to stop it. And I've got to finish the draft in a couple of months' time. Now, it means I'm not going to be recording any YouTube, and I'm going to be off Twitter and Facebook for a while as well. I just need to concentrate on the book now, and I've realised that I can do more good for the cause. Myself, Bernard Collaery, Richard Boyle, Witness K, Jay, Assange, etc., Chelsea Manning, by writing a good book and getting that out than I can just by social media. It will be a good book, and one of the things that I've been doing, I'll just give you a taste of what has been happening lately. I've been putting in freedom of information applications. Now, a book that's been very helpful for me is this book here. Read it backwards. No Front Line. It's by Chris Masters, famous Australian journalist, and it's about the Special Forces in Afghanistan. Now, one of the things he says on page 494 from memory is that he saw footage of the situation of an SAS patrol where a guy called Scott Smith unfortunately lost his life to an IED, an improvised explosive device put in the ground. He was a very good guy, Scott Smith, and it was a great loss. He was very brave and saved a lot of lives with his work. Anyway, Masters says there's footage of that scene. Now, that means there's footage of everything else about that time. He also notes that an Australian drone operator is killed in 2011. So that is pretty conclusive proof from Chris Masters' book, no classified information here, that Australians and Americans had drones operating over all the SAS operations 2012. Now, one of these key operations is the one on September 11, 2012, where Chris Masters alleges Soldier B, as we'll call him, threw someone off a cliff, an Afghan called Ali Jan, who was nothing to do with the Taliban. And then when he was, Ali Jan was at the bottom of the cliff, Soldier B got an Afghan soldier to shoot him. Now, that will be captured on drone footage. Now, I've asked it, whatever did actually happen, I've asked that to be produced under Freedom of Information. Now, they will likely deny it to me, but it'll be interesting to see why they deny it, and whether they say it exists or not. And if they say it doesn't exist, I've got a few other questions I'd like to ask them. Now, I don't think anyone particularly wants SAS honours to go to jail, but I do think we need to know the truth. And if footage exists, I think the public need to see it. And I think it will be interesting to say who knew what when. Now, as I've said before, General Angus Campbell, who's now the CDF and who instituted the Brereton Inquiry, was in fact the overall commander of the Australian forces in Afghanistan in 2011-2012. General David Morrison, who became Australian of the Year and made a very famous speech, is probably one of the most famous Australian soldiers ever. My hand's getting tight. He was the Chief of the Army in 2012. Now, also, our present Governor-General, General David Hurley, was the overall Chief of the Defence Force in 2012. Now, they've all failed upwards. It's interesting, isn't it? Morrison became Australian of the Year. Hurley's now Governor-General. Campbell is now at the CDF, instituting these inquiries. I think they've all got some questions to answer. I think the Australian public, you would agree. And let's see what comes out over the next couple of months.